All right, we should be broadcasting.
That's what you get for having me drink a Woot Stout before we
Woot Stout.
Woot
Yeah,
Stout.
I got myself a Stone Smoked Porter.
I love that stuff.
Do you?
I'm rocking the classic Lagunitas IPA.
You and your IPA, your Lagunitas.
This Woot Stout is not that good, FYI.
Have you had that Belching Beaver peanut butter?
Yeah, it's all right.
Okay, ready to get started?
Thought we did.
Nope. Well,
Hey, Eric, how's it going?
Hey, John. Welcome
Hey,
back.
It's
Took
me,
a week
Tom.
off.
Thomas is still here.
Oh, crap. Who let him in?
Jeez.
I let myself in, damn it.
Well, I guess we should stop posting that URL.
I know. He always seems to find us. How's everybody doing?
Pretty good.
We talked about you a little bit last week, Mr. Congdon.
You did. Well, I say that like I don't know, but I listened, so I do know.
Talked about you getting published in PHP Art yet again. How many articles is that for you?
Third, or is it only second?
I thought. I thought it was your fourth. I thought you'd done 3 before.
No,
So I thought that
I
was
guess my third.
6.
I thought it was a baker's dozen.
I'm pretty sure you've done. God, I'm glad we got that one out the way.
Get it out early.
I mean, let's just purge ourselves of that. Speaking of baker dozens, you know what I didn't realize? That so we're currently recording episode 28. So you know what that means, right? I mean, if you think about it,
It's
there's
a baker's dozen of dozens.
fucking drop the dozen joke already. No, there's 52 weeks in a year. Am I correct in that?
No.
Yes,
Yeah.
I'm correct in that. There's 52 weeks in a year.
We'll just assume you are.
Oh my god!
I was assuming he wasn't. So
I should have warned you guys there was going to be a test today, I guess. No, there's 52 weeks in a year. That means 26 was half a year. So we've been doing this podcast for over 6 months.
For a year dozen?
I'm done. I'm stopping the stream. This
Note
going nowhere.
to the editor, keep that awkward silence.
This show's going nowhere. It's going nowhere fast. We've been doing this for 6 months straight. We haven't missed a week.
That's pretty great. And our numbers are reflecting it too. We're looking at some pretty good download levels. I don't know what that number would.
4.
What you'd call it? No, 160 on some of our episodes.
Those must be the ones I took my shirt off on.
I think you'll find that it's inversely proportional.
So what have you knuckleheads been up to? I'm going to try to rescue this show before I give up on it.
Are we allowed to start over?
Yeah, I think the rest of the sentence was, we've been doing this 6 months and I'm pretty done with it.
iPhone 7, huh? Am I right? Who's excited? iPhone 7.
Not me.
Oh, wow.
Not it.
I'm super excited because exactly what I thought was going to happen happened. Which
was nothing?
People who don't understand video games and technology are investing in things about video games and technology. So the big news for me was like they announced a Mario game for the iPhone. Nintendo's officially developing a runner-style game using the Mario license just for the iPhone.
Mm-hmm.
And if you play video games and like the character Mario, you know how little that actually means. Like, it's totally not news. They spent 45 minutes on it at this announcement, and stock prices shot through the roof on the news.
I don't get it.
Baffled me.
Yeah. Well, it's like how much time they spent talking about Pokemon Go, too.
Right.
Like, oh, yeah, you can catch Pokemon on your watch now. It's like, yeah, I'm going to go buy a $500 watch now because I can catch Pokemon. I don't know. That company really needs to get back on track. And I mean, give us a hardware refresh of some of your laptops, for Pete's sake. I mean, they're just recycling old stuff. It's brutal to watch.
Yeah, it's like they're trying to tell us how important Steve Jobs really was to the company.
Yeah. So
there's nothing that impressive in the release that makes me want to upgrade. I mean, my wife is an iPhone user. I don't want to switch.
Well, the balls of saying that dropping the headphone jack was a courageous move impressed me.
Okay, so let me talk about that for a second. First thing, I mean, it's been stated several times now, and I'll just restate it. The iPhone is not the first phone to drop the headphone jack. It's been done a couple of times prior with Android phones. For headsets, I'm kind of okay with it, I guess. I typically use Bluetooth. I'll fall back to a plug-in occasionally when my Bluetooth headset dies or something. But for listening to phones, to the music, that doesn't really impact me that much. But I was thinking about it the other day. It's like, man, what are people like Square going to do and all these other little devices that were just developed to plug into the headphone jack?
Wow, I didn't even
pay money.
Pay money for what?
For the license,
no headphone jack.
For the license on the Lightning port.
That's the other thing, right? The licensing, yeah, the that's proprietary. That's proprietary to Apple. So anybody who uses it now has to pay a licensing fee.
So will those things still work through their little dongle?
No.
Well, you don't know that, but I think that's a great question, John.
They'll have to create a new dongle that uses a Lightning connector and.
But there is one right now. They're giving you a Lightning port to a 3.5 millimeter jack. The phone, from what I read, so you can continue using your headset. So, will these devices still work through that? Oh.
I really doubt it, because there's a digital audio signal processor that they could use to screw up anything that does non-audio communication through that port.
And I'll be honest with you, John, I'm kind of siding with Thomas on this, because I think the play for Apple is, we'll make it very easy for you to reinvent these devices that you had. You'll just have to go in through the Lightning port and pay us our licensing fee. Yeah, it's pretty much the same thing. It's just going to cost you more money.
And find some way to charge it while you're using it, because you can't do that.
Right. Oh, yeah, that's another good point. I mean, I go to the farmer's market now, and I see how many people are using Square or PayPal or one of these services that have the little dongle plugged into their headphone jack, and it's like, wow. I mean, that's pretty impactful.
Yeah. Now, that's more on the conspiracy side of things. There is a pretty popular belief that this has to do with the iPhone 7's IP67 water resistance rating. That those headphone jacks just don't have the water resistance that they wanted.
Sony's been coming out with phones for years that have a water resistance rating. Samsung as well. That's true. Yeah. I hear the new Note 7 is just blowing up, man. What, too soon? Was that joke too soon?
I don't know. Is it literally blowing up in toddlers' hands? Yes, it is. Yeah, that's what it's doing.
My wife brought that up today because I have a Samsung C7, and she's all worried with me having it around the kid. It's the Note 7, and she doesn't care. It still
doesn't matter. You're basically walking around with a loaded gun right now, John.
The brand is tainted. Note 7s and hoverboards. Those are the things you can't take on trains.
Yeah, so I don't know. I mean, I don't know how much we want to talk about the Apple situation, but I think
we just did it.
Yeah,
that's the first that I've heard of those other situations. The ports that are needed, not ports, but the PayPal, the Square, those types of things, and that's interesting.
Right. Yeah, and any type of headphone that wants to use the Lightning connector has to pay the licensing fee.
That's what I keep going back to. They have the dongle that's already there.
Right, but it's crap.
It's gonna work.
Now you've got a dongle that you have to carry around with your phone.
I agree, but it's
let's look at the previous version
and
in
you
which
can't
there
charge
was no
your
dongle
phone at the same time.
The dongle was integrated into the phone previously.
Yeah.
I know one of the podcasts I listen to, they're like, well, the dongles are pretty cheap, so you can probably buy them for like $5. So you just buy a dongle for each of your headphones. I'm like,
you only have one at a time.
The dongles are $24.
Yeah, but that price will probably drop. Amazon will come out with their white label brand, and
well, depending on how the licensing for the Lightning port goes.
Very true.
Because it's on a per product basis. They get to say this product doesn't get to use the Lightning port. You know, you don't get to license it just because you asked to. You know, you have to provide them with your end product as well, and they'll approve it based on that.
Yeah. Well, like I said, I think we're done talking about it.
Yeah.
I don't think any of us are buying an iPhone 7 anytime soon. I mean, that seems pretty clear.
Well, I haven't had an iPhone since the 3G.
You know, it's funny because I've been on the fence about bouncing back for a while. I've been on Android for a very long time, and quite frankly, not happy with the progress Android is making either. I mean, the OS is kind of not getting, doesn't really seem, it still seems to have problems that it shouldn't have at this point. And so I've been kind of playing around with going back to the iPhone for a version to see, what I'm missing. Yeah. And when the Note 7 came out with the problems that they're having, because that was like the next phone I was really considering moving to, when all those problems came up, I'm like, okay, let's see what the iPhone 7 has to offer. Maybe I'll just go get one of those. Yeah, not going to do that. All right, what's everybody working on? Anything fun? Any fun projects?
No.
Blown up production. Love doing that.
You've had some struggles with production this past week, haven't you, Dan?
Yeah.
Yeah, those are always fun.
You got some tickets closed too.
Closed, not merged, closed. Yeah, it sucks when you have to revert to a previous tag week. That's never fun, but it happened this week. But luckily we were able to recover pretty
cool. Boy, I don't know what you're torrenting, but it's hosing up your audio.
See, I wasn't going to say anything because it wasn't going to matter in post.
No, I know. I just wanted to say I don't know what he's torrenting. I do. I totally know what he's torrenting.
Robot?
No, it's
freshly rebooted machine with nothing on it, nothing running. But
I need to make a freaking note to cut that section at about 13:30. See,
come on.
Yeah, because I'm not doing it now. We're having to ask people. We're having people.
Okay.
Oh my gosh, 13:30.
So basically, my internet is just shitty, huh? Because I'm on a freshly rebooted machine with nothing running. The 20-second ping times, millisecond ping times.
Huh.
Like I said, your recording will be fine, so it won't matter.
I just like the fact that I can throw out a non sequitur now and make Eric have to do some work.
Yeah. All right.
So you were saying.
So hang on, before we get back, I'm just gonna jump back into Hangouts.
Okay.
Drop and jump. Should we change channels?
I don't know what he did. Stop the stream, move to another channel.
He killed it.
I'm not exactly sure what he's expecting to accomplish with this approach, but
well, to be fair, turn it off and back on is a tried and true method.
This is true. He's back. Now his camera doesn't work. No.
All right, maybe that'll be better. Who knows?
Eric, can you hear him?
He sounds better. Come on.
I can hear him too. I'm just saying, can you hear him?
That's what he had done with his podcast tonight. It was a killer. All right. So what about you?
You had to roll back. Well, no, John was saying he had to roll back to a previous tag.
Yeah, it's just a couple of deployments went bad. Today's was I asked another developer on the team to upgrade Guzzle, because the last big piece of code to use Guzzle was his. So I figured he's got unit tests for it. His code uses it. Let him upgrade it. And I didn't make it clear, hey, there's other pieces in the code that may use Guzzle. Go find them and upgrade those as well. Did, I guess, exactly what I asked. Upgraded Guzzle, upgraded the things he used Guzzle for.
Make sure his test passed.
That worked fine. Unfortunately, the other pieces in the code base that use Guzzle were not unit tested. The code was released, and of course, things blew up. And I got to exercise reverting quickly and getting everything back in sync. I've got those steps down to a T now.
That's good. That's good. Keeps you going.
Well, real quick.
What about you, Thomas? Anything?
Oh boy, I had a production issue today.
Wow, all these production issues.
I know. I decided to be a smartass, and it backfired. Let's see if I can look at the log here. It took 3 minutes. It backfired in 3 minutes.
What happened?
So Jose is the merge manager, the deployment manager, and
sure.
I closed out some code today. Told him, go ahead, push it up. He pushed it and immediately had to go to a doctor's appointment. So I hopped on the company chat channel and said, oh, I love how he just makes a push to production and then says, see you suckers, and logs out. 3 minutes later, I get a phone call from him. And I look at my phone, I'm like, oh shit, what did I do? And yeah, massive problem on the production system. He's now out of the office, can't do a merge or a push. We're trying to come up with hacks to fix things and get me the permissions to push files to get it fixed, and oh god.
That should show up on your next review, I think.
Yeah, if I get to that. We'll see how far I make it.
Well, since we're talking about production issues, I'll share with you my little story. I've come to the conclusion. Well, I've come to the conclusion. John and I think, have reached had an epiphany this past weekend that I'm not allowed to travel up to Los Angeles anymore, because it seems like every time I cross that border into Los Angeles, the world goes sideways. And
I think your wife made that clear. You're not allowed to leave.
Sometime back, you might recall, John and I were talking about, I went up to LA and we had this series of events that just ended up happening where I was the only one that I had to log in to try to fix it. And it wasn't quite that bad this time, but it was one of these things where almost immediately when I get into Los Angeles, there's a problem with one of our clients' production systems, and we can't get a hold of anybody. Fortunately, John was online, and he's kind of managing it until he gets a hold of me. And oh man, it was just not fun things. And again, just like the last time, it was a family thing. We had all this stuff planned out, and here I am. I'm running around trying to find a Starbucks coffee shop in LA, which the traffic in LA sucks.
Well, it gets worse. So the client contacts us first with an issue. The proper people on the line, we get it fixed, back up and running. An hour later, I leave the house with my son. Contact us again. Things are broken, not working. And Eric is nice enough to leave what he's in the middle of to go to Starbucks. Takes all that time. He gets there. He's there for maybe 5 minutes when the client calls back and says, yeah, we made a mistake. Everything's fine.
Yeah.
Nothing's wrong.
It was funny. That happened after I spent probably a good those 5 minutes I was in Starbucks ranting to John. I fucking hate LA. I fucking hate this place.
So do you guys have a you put me out of my way at your own mistake clause in your contracts?
No. Nope. We're a full service shop, so yeah, we try to manage. And again, it was a series of comical events that kind of set this one up as well. We had one of our lead developers happened to be moving at the time. The other one was out of the house all day long. I was driving up to LA. It was just like this weird scenario. It always seems to be that way. So,
and the client rarely hits us on the weekend with issues. So the few times that it happens, we want to be there to support them.
Sure.
And it was our fault.
The first one was our fault.
First one was our fault, yes.
The one that you weren't involved in was our fault. You had to go to Starbucks. It was not our fault.
That's true, yeah.
That was just a waste of time.
I got an interesting proposal for you guys.
What's that?
So you recently discovered a charge on the company card that you guys issued me.
Yes.
Correct.
I can think of 3 places that I've ever used that card for a total of less than 10 times.
We don't need to talk about that now.
Oh, you don't want to cover that one?
I mean, we can, but are you going to call out certain company names here?
No. I was just thinking about credit card skimmers, the gas station stuff.
Wait, you were using the card to buy gas?
Yeah, what the hell?
I bought ice at a gas station.
No, don't worry.
It fell right in the card reader. I don't know what happened.
I'm going to tell you, the whole credit card scamming thing is running rampant. I know John and I both have business cards that have been compromised a couple times now.
Multiple times, yeah.
Within like the last year. And we're pretty savvy users of our card. And
we still think we know where one company might be failing.
Yeah, we're suspicious about one particular company, but yeah, it just seems to be running rampant this time around.
But see now, you remember when Michael's got compromised, the art supply store?
Yeah.
Somebody walked in looking official and physically opened all of the credit card machines, inserted hardware, sealed it back up, and said, "Thanks, we'll be on our way." That was the source of their compromise. That's unbelievable. And then I just saw a new article where the Secret Service is warning banks and ATM owners about a thing called a periscope skimmer, which this is a probe that you jam through a crack in the ATM, and it makes contact with the electrical board, the PCB board, and reads the data straight off the PCB board. It's like the advancements in this technology are way outpacing the advancements in security.
Yeah,
it's bizarre.
I mean, that's always been the case, right? It's always been an arms race with the bad guys leading the way. That's just the way it's always been. It always will be too.
Yeah,
they'll
I just
never
don't
get
know what we
rid of
can
it.
do.
No.
Think about going off the grid, going dark.
Okay, so let's start talking about some new stuff, shall we?
Sounds like a plan.
I heard you had a wonderful talk from.
It was fantastic.
I was so sad to miss this one.
No, you guys are best friends with Evan now.
You like him a lot better than we like you.
Yeah, no, he's just swept in. He's ready to take over and just take all my friends away.
We needed somebody else that would mess with their video like you do.
So, have you checked the HDMI port? No. Try channel 4. No.
So yes,
Evan
Sampson did a talk yesterday on Elasticsearch for our San Diego PHP user group, and he did a fantastic job to a very large crowd, I might add. Probably more new faces at one meetup than I've seen. Well, I can say
bigger
this.
than any crowd Tom's ever pulled.
2 minutes before he had to talk, he didn't have to walk out and vape. I mean, I'm going to point that out.
Well, I go out and see if people are looking for the meetup location.
I'm
I'm just trying to cover all the bases.
Elasticsearch was a great topic. I was very happy to see him talk about it. Evan does work for us, and he's done some Elasticsearch work for one of our clients. So it was nice to see how much he's embraced it and understands it, and that was all good stuff. And what's really cool is in 2 weeks, he's going to continue his Elasticsearch talk at our Laravel meetup and talk specifically about Laravel and Elasticsearch, and hopefully touch a little bit on the new Scout plugin as well. So if you're here in San Diego and you like PHP, you might want to go.
You want to meet my replacement? You know,
a younger, better-looking Tom.
Oh, jeez. It
So
stings in so many ways.
Episode 30 is when we bring this up. Shh.
Yeah, we call that an Evan dozen.
That reminds me, John, we got to buy Evan a mic for his, when he joins us in the podcast.
I thought we were just giving him Tom's.
I know, I paid for this mic. He gets the.
It doesn't matter. We're giving it to him anyway.
Ah, damn it!
All right. What else do we got going on? Anything fun?
More fun Laravel news.
We do. We do have some more fun Laravel news.
This one caught me by surprise, actually. Laravel Spark version 2 has been released.
Mm-hmm. So
I remember for a while we were on Spark Watch. We were counting down the days when Spark was going to get released. This one just sort of happened.
Well, it happened because of Laravel 5.3, and it also happened because Taylor finally hired his first employee. So that was one of the first things he had tasked his employee with was, and I forget the guy's name. He's over.
Evan Sampson.
Evan Sampson, Laravel employee number 1.
Everywhere.
I do know he's remote. I want to say he was over in Egypt or somewhere, that side of the world. But Taylor said that the first thing he was going to have him work on was getting Spark compatible with Laravel 5.3. I guess there were a couple things about it that didn't work. So I think that's what this is, and I think it just demonstrates that now there's people getting paid to work on Laravel, that we can expect these turnarounds a little quicker. Because if you remember, Lumen also came out last week, so right. I think it's just a matter of having somebody focused on these things that isn't Taylor. Taylor's got so many other things on his plate now. So
with version 2, are there any new features, or is it really just, hey, it's 5.3 compatible?
Yeah, I think it's just 5.3 compatible. I looked through it real quick. I didn't notice anything that stood out. I think it's just a matter of it being 5.3 compatible.
Gotcha. Well, I noticed something new this week that I thought was very interesting. Were some of the new GitHub tools. So we're big users of GitHub.
Yeah, they had a big talk, right?
Yeah, they're GitHub Universe, and I guess from what I've seen, there are a bunch of talks given showing off some of the new tools. And one of the ones that I really like are the new review tools. So in the past, when making comments on a pull request, had pull requests 20, 30 files deep, and somebody would go through and leave 10, 15 comments, and I'd get an email for each one of those, which is a pain in the ass. Mm-hmm. They can basically make a bunch of comments throughout that pull request, click a button to basically submit all of those at once, including a comment just as is. Mm-hmm. So now I'll get one email with the 15 comments and a comment about the pull request, and then within there they can say, I approve this. This can't be merged until these things have been fixed, or it's just a general comment.
I think that's probably the coolest part.
It is, except for the fact that I still don't see those freaking options. I've been talking with somebody in support. People that I work with see them, but when I click on the button, the radio buttons for those options.
You'll have to have Evan check that out for you.
I didn't even check that. I got focused on the whole project board that they have now, the one that almost looks like it's going to be a Trello killer.
I saw the short video of it, but I don't know where to go find it yet. I haven't taken that time to look at it.
Reach out to Evan; he'll explain it. No, it's just
how many times do we say Evan in this episode?
I think we just
that's
got
the title for the episode right there.
Yeah, I am Evan. That's the title of the episode. Let me write that down. I am Evan. Evan, you just got a podcast episode named after you. Okay. Where you look at code, commits, all those little tabs up there. There's a new tab up there called Project, and there
it is. Look at that.
And you can actually create multiple projects within one repo.
Single repo.
Yeah. What I don't understand, and I haven't played around with it that much, is I don't see how you pull in issues and pull requests into there. Like when somebody creates a pull request, can you set it up so that it automatically goes into one of the boards?
That'd be interesting.
Yeah.
Sounds like there'll be an if this and that type of plugin.
Yeah, we'll have to tinker with that.
Yeah.
Or it could just be the classic GitHub method of, $255.7 to point to a ticket.
That's but then it wouldn't be automated though, right? I mean,
no, he's just giving other options.
Yeah.
Jeez. Yeah. Evan's in the IRC channel listening to us live and bragging about taking my job.
Hey, Evan, why don't you just pop in here? The link's in Slack.
Okay. So
I have something good for you guys.
What's that?
So the headline for this article is "Someone is learning how to take down the internet."
That was a very interesting article.
And yeah. I clicked on the link, and then there were a lot of words, and
there were a lot of words.
I'm like, now, that's just a lot of words.
Typically, if you were to see this on Facebook, you'd say, "Oh yeah, classic Linkbait thing." But this is actually coming from Bruce Shiner.
Oh, I didn't realize Bruce had written it.
Yeah.
No, you have to read it. It is scary.
It's terrifying because it's basically an at-length analysis of some person or some state analyzing every website that they can find, finding the vulnerabilities that would take it down, and moving on to the next website.
Most of us have dealt with DDoS attacks at some capacity, like on the backbone of the internet and dealing with them. But dealing with that are constantly hitting you, checking your response times, making note of it, top of that attack every single time, making it worse and worse.
Yeah, I mean, they're basically building a yellow pages of website shutdowns. So you just pick through the menu that's being provided, and they say, oh yeah, we can shut that down, no problem. Or we can compromise the system and get root access, or oh, we already have the user base for it, whatever you want from it. It's really scary, and it brings to point this idea of staying up to date, and this idea of vulnerabilities that get released needing to be patched on the first day that you see it, and staying up to date with your security, because you're getting compromised. And that's the thing, is that if you haven't been hacked, then you probably have been and just don't know it. The things that are being discussed in this are so high level, so advanced, that it's really scary.
I remember just being a developer at a previous place. I was the only developer, and thinking nobody cares about this site. And sure enough, it was hacked. But I mean, it's going to happen to the smallest sites and the biggest sites. You're not immune just because you've got a little website.
Yeah, no, I was running a WordPress site that had maybe 5 posts total on it that got hacked by the Israeli Internet Freedom Army or whatever. So they don't care about the site. Your website. They just So yeah, I recommend everyone check this article out. Get yourself secured.
All right, leave it up to Tom to put a boohoo news article in our podcast every time. I swear to God.
It was boohoo, but really friggin' interesting.
Yeah. Although this next topic I had might have fit in a little better up a few clicks. I probably would have saved Tom's to the end, but we did have one more kind of
not like you milestone. Can replace me.
Hey, Evan, how's it going?
A nice little milestone that happened. The guy who put together Laravel Shift, and I was explaining Laravel Shift to Thomas a few shows back, but it's a great little service where you tie in your GitHub repo, and it will automatically, or not automatically, it'll create a pull request to upgrade your Laravel install from one version to another. And it's fairly cheap. I forget what the pricing structure is. I know the older the Laravel version is, the more expensive it is to upgrade it. And that's kind of done as an incentive, so that as long as you stay current with the upgrades, it actually costs less to upgrade to the next version. But I mean, I swear, it's like, I think it's like $5 or $10 to upgrade from one version to, like, from the last version to the newest version. Anyways, said all that.
You have to send him your Git repo, right? You have to basically disclose your project to a third party.
Right. Well, yeah, you tie in this service into your Git repo, like you do a lot of services, but you are correct, because it creates a pull request. I mean, it pulls down your code. He explained the process in one of the podcasts I listened to. So he does physically get access to your code. Then he runs the scripts against it. He finds everything that needs to be migrated, changed, upgraded, and then it creates a pull request and opens up a pull request in your repo. So that is something to take into consideration. The fact that, yes, any proprietary information you might have in your code, he now has.
That's very interesting. They go literally from version to version. So 4.2 to 5 is $19.
Yeah. What's the latest one?
But you only got 5 at that point. 5.3. So from 4.2 to 5 is 19. Then from 5 to 5.1 is 13. To 5.2 is 11, and then to 5.3 is 9.
$10.
So all in all, you're looking at $52 to go from 4.2 all the way to 5.3.
Right, and like I said, but again, that scale changes, so that when the next version of Laravel comes out, the 5.2 to 5.3 price will increase, and the 5.3 to 5.4 will be $10. And right. Again, the idea behind the pricing model is if you stay current, it's cheaper.
Mm-hmm.
Huh. I like this though. I mean, that could save some pretty good money on some of our projects.
You figure $52 to go from 4.2 to 5.3 now. What are you going to pay a developer to sit there and actually do it for you?
Right.
You're looking at hours to do that.
Now he does caution you that is not a complete migration, right? He opens up a pull request. Depending on how customized your application is, there may be things that he's not able to automatically migrate, and he'll detail those in the pull request. So I haven't seen one of these pull requests. I'm tempted to do it once just so I can see what it looks like. But
he's got his demo pull request right there.
Oh, does he?
Yeah.
Oh, there you go.
It helps to research or read a little.
I'm not going to keep going to this guy's site every couple of days just to see what he has, but.
Well, I guess that just makes me a purist.
Yeah, right under the tiles, there's a demo pull request showing 14 commits and 89 files were changed through his automated process. That's pretty cool.
And does it? I'm not seeing that example pull request. Where do you see it?
It's text underneath the tiles, the pricing tiles.
Mm-hmm.
some thrilling podcasting here.
Yeah. I'm going to do it live. Directly under the lint your Laravel application tile.
Oh, got it.
Want to try before you buy, review a demo pull request.
Yeah, I see. Yeah. So check out Laravel 5 Shift, review pull request, go Laravel 5.
And each commit is one of his tools, it looks like. So one commit will be moving folders around. Another commit will be changing the models. Another commit for your blade template. So that's really neat. Instead of one massive pull request, it's multiple commits.
Yeah, it allows you to cherry pick what you actually want to move, what you want to migrate, and yeah, it's good. So the whole thing I was getting to is he's celebrating that he's done 1,000 application upgrades now, and he just released this at PHP World last year.
So a year ago.
Yeah, I think he's just approaching 1 year on this site. That's pretty impressive, I think.
Yeah, that's a hell of a rate. That's three sites a day.
That's like $5 billion he made.
5 billion? Where's your math on that
one? So who's handling the HR for Diego Dev?
You mean the accounting finances?
Hey, I never question my paycheck. It always ends up being something like $2.5 million for a couple of weeks.
You're worth every penny of it.
Yeah.
Just continue submitting those invoices. I'll pay them.
I haven't submitted an invoice in like 2 months.
You haven't worked in like 3 months.
That's not my fault. I mean, it's not entirely my fault. I didn't like that client.
Shh. That client's gone. Shit.
All right.
Oh God, the client's in the room.
We'll make a note to cut that out. Or the ending.
Hey guys, I think that was a pretty successful episode 28. We'll call it.
Wasn't bad for 28.
We'll call it an Evan dozen. See, I can do that too.
Yeah, because I said that earlier. I said that earlier. No, I said 30 was an Evan dozen.
Did you say that?
Did.
I'll cut that one out.
See, you can't just replace me that easily. I keep track of our dozens.
All right. Well, this has been another fantastic PHP Ugly. I'm Eric Van Johnson.
I'm John Congdon.
And I'm Tom Rideout.
Glad to be back.
Ride your ass on out of here, then.
You ever been fired on a podcast, son? Well, there's a first for everything.
John, your audio has been terrible, at least for me.
Oh,
Thomas, has it? Oh, man.
I don't know why.
All right, I'm killing my recording.
I hate Time Warner.
Killing my recording.
Time Warner's.
Had to before we killed the live feed.
Kill the live.
Kill the live feed.